Hello and welcome. This is Sahara playing Witcher 2, and we found our way into the laboratory. We lost two of our members along the way, and now we need to go in here and confront this thing, this golem. We don't know whether we're going to fight it or talk to it, or it's going to give us a riddle.
A golem? So Derhenna's legend is true?
It is no more than an obedient machine created to follow orders and kill. Not unlike our Witcher.
Oh, really?
So I guess we should get along famously.
You? What do you know about golems?
I don't run into them in every forest, but any good bestiary describes golems at length, and I've read more than my share of those.
Geralt, I'm not questioning your knowledge, but I should be the one to...
Actually, you are questioning my knowledge. Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'll try to get it to reveal the word that'll deactivate it, or I'll just mess with its head, break the code.
So now we've got a burglar in our midst. Be my guest. Try.
My intentions are good.
As are mine. Know, however, that this may change.
Derhenna must have been pretty lonely if he gave you eloquence.
The Master made me a guardian. Nothing less, nothing more. And you, provided you stand there, are a guest.
Powerful magic created you. Derhenna was a true master.
He is still, since his mastery survives.
Can I ask you for your name word?
As a conscious being, you must be lonely here.
You are wrong. The pain of the world, melancholy, lies within the domain of emotions and feelings. My thoughts are governed by pure logic, restricted by my program.
But you can learn. They say that a penchant for philosophy can only come from curiosity.
In my case, it comes from the will of the Master, who liked to speak with me.
And do you feel a need to discuss?
I feel nothing. I just have that need.
Okay,
Can we discuss the program that controls your behavior?
Of course not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Can I ask you for the name word which brought you to life and which can deactivate you?
Do that, and I shall consider you an intruder.
Okay.
I have other questions.
Do you have a name?
Did your creator give you a name?
I'm called obedience and unyielding persistence. I am a guardian and the humblest of servants.
A golem's name is the word that gave it life, and that can take it away. You must have a name.
I own nothing. Everything belongs to my master. How could I divulge the name if I exist solely to protect my creator's property?
Yeah?
So you're aware you're an automaton?
Do we really know who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed? Is human life predictable in that the cycle of birth and death ensnares it, better than mine? When a human is born, he is obedient to his parents. Later, he listens to tutors, masters, corporals. Finally, he succumbs to the will of death.
And to think that Adalbert questioned Derhenna's mastery.
Has anyone tried to enter before us?
Has
Yeah.
anyone tried to enter before?
I recall no intruders. I do, however, remember guests who left after being warned.
When was that? What did you discuss?
I am a machine. My memory is limited.
Okay.
You are far more self-aware than a typical golem. Can you make sovereign decisions?
The Master made me the way I am, because long discussions were to his liking. I can make decisions, Within my program, of course.
So you decide who's a guest and who's an intruder.
Who else would? Guests chat innocuously, exerting no pressure. All others are intruders.
Okay.
Who, if anyone, is allowed to pass?
Dehenna, but he is dead. Also guests may pass, but I stop intruders.
Tell me more. Who's a guest and who's an intruder?
Is it not obvious? A guest keeps his distance, or knows the name word. An intruder is anyone who enters too far, attacks me, or otherwise interferes with my being.
Okay.
I have other questions.
Who created you?
Do you remember your creator?
Of course. I was summoned into being by Master Dehenna. I abide by his will, by his power, by the necessity encased in my stone bowels.
Dehenna is dead.
His word, which animates me, lives on, as does his legacy, which I protect. Empires will rise and fall, rivers will shift their courses, but I will remain obedient to one master on my eternal watch.
I think you're a living being. I do agree with that. But he says he has no emotions.
You're not an automaton. You're self-aware, and you think you can make decisions.
The hex failed, of course it did.
You're wrong. I am eloquent and can discern between guests and intruders. I can also deal with the latter. But everything I say and do is limited by my restrictive program. By the way, as an automaton, I am immune to all charms. Stop the intruders.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be it. Yeah.
Come on!
Oh, there's more than one. Come on. Quit tossing me around like I'm a piece of sack. You're in my way. Come on. Let me get one of them down. Okay, he's done. I hate to kill her. I don't know if there was any other way.
We've done it. We've penetrated Dehenna's laboratory.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, I
This
hated
is better than
killing
I'd
her.
hoped.
A great success for Nilfgaard, this mission.
Maybe you'll get that promote.
So, there was probably a way to talk your way through it. I should state once more that this Witcher was right to stick to his profession, as he would have done poorly as a wandering preacher, and even worse as a matchmaker. Geralt attempted to out-talk the golem, but blundered so badly that the monster identified him as an intruder, summoned all its stone buddies, and attacked. Yep, I hadn't done the hex on it, then it probably would have worked. There's old dwarven sayings that go, if your tongue's not up to the task, your hands better be. Our explorers clashed with the golems. Geralt's hands worked wonders with his ever-rusty silver sword, while the palms of the two Nilfgaardian mages grew sore from all the spells they hurled. Sword and sorcery were enough to deal with the guardians, and our heroes finally gained access to the laboratory. Okay. I'm going to take everything, guys. So we got the notes.
Joanna's notes about the city's history.
Can you feel that?
My medallion's vibrating.
Another masking illusion. I'll try to disperse it.
So we have his notes. I have started reviewing the manuscripts. The city annals have survived only in part. The most interesting volumes seem to be missing. Curiously, up to this point, I have not found a single mention of the barons, but I've already made them. What was the journal entry? Why in Lochmura's cellars and sewers, Geralt chanced upon an interesting item. Upon examination, it proved to be a fragment of his journal in which the sorcerer described his research into the city's history. Since all things related to the sorcerer seemed intriguing, the Witcher began looking for other pieces of the journal. Okay.
Later, Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later, dear!
The device. What is it?
You've done your job. You'll be paid and...
Paid like the scholars were? They died once they were no longer useful.
They were never useful, but Cynthia insisted. Fortunately, they were so kind as to remove themselves without my help.
I'm not about to be that kind.
Adelbert, you know what you're to look for.
Yes, Ma'am.
It's a prototype megascope. I didn't know it had survived.
What's it do?
The artifact detects an emotional bond with a person. Its user need only focus on that person and the device will establish a connection.
Great tool for a spy.
Yes.
Time you fulfilled your end of the bargain. What do you know about my past?
And not the
You
new
were a
one.
rider of the Wild Hunt. I read the reports.
Don't the Nilfgaardians have anything better to do than write reports about witchers?
Not about witches. About you. You are the sole person to have been a member of the host and survived.
Anything else? Any detail you can give me would be useful.
Don't trust Letho.
You think I trust the people I hunt?
He's your foe today, but he wasn't always.
Is there anything to prove I was part of the Wild Hunt?
Nothing. Apart from the fact that Nilfgaardian intelligence agents are drawn and quartered for lying in their reports.
An enlightened nation indeed.
You haven't the faintest notion how many people are interested in you. Very important people.
Just because I survived?
You're a former rider of the hunt, and you live. You may be the key to solving the mystery of the retinue, and they all know that. You must watch out for yourself.
So, I was part of the Wild Hunt. I wasn't just being hunted by the Wild Hunt. I was one of the hunters. Interesting. So that means I was taking people for the Wild Hunt?
How do you know I knew Letho?
I've read...
The reports, I know. Why are you warning me about him?
because I like you.
Let's say you've satisfied my curiosity.
Well then, consider me glad to have satisfied a witcher, whatever the way.
Do I want them to have that artifact? It means I'm going to have to fight them, right?
I'd like to try out the device.
You realize that can only end badly.
cut in again and I'll put you in my report. You may use it, but just once.
Giving state secrets away to a Nordling. Will you mention that in your report?
You're sure to be named a commander one day, Adalbert. But until that happens, be a good boy and do your job.
Article 22 of the Code is clear. Suspicion of treason is sufficient grounds to strip a commander of power. Article 1 of my personal code is equally clear. Traitors must be subjected to the most painful death possible.
Yep, that's what I thought.
I didn't expect that.
Multiplication. Second year at the academy, all mages learn it.
I didn't expect you to take my side.
Well, now choose one person you wish to contact. After that, the artifact's mine.
I'm sorry, guys. Walmart showed up while I was in the middle of the fight. Okay, so what happened here? I didn't even see what happened. We were being attacked, I know that. Okay, we already know that.
Let's say you've satisfied my curiosity.
Well then.
So,
Nilfgaardian agents get quartered for lying in reports. What does the Empire do to agents who kill their colleagues?
Nothing. As long as no one finds out.
Will we meet again?
I wouldn't mind at all. Look for me at the inn.
okay. So I assume, I'm sorry, I had there again. I had to go get my order. I didn't know they were showing up today, so I apologize for that. Oh my gosh. I didn't know she was fighting on our side. I thought we were fighting her too, to be quite honest. So do I want to trust Cynthia? Because we know she's behind everything too. She's the one who betrayed Philippia.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't eavesdrop while I eavesdropped.
I shan't trouble you. I have a lot of work to do here.
So I can only use it once. So who do I want to think of? Saskia or Triss? We need to know where Saskia is at. But we also want to know what's going on with Triss, too. Boy, I don't care about Vernon or Dandelion or that either. He's the prince, I believe. That's kind of, I don't think he's behind everything he thinks he is, but I think it's his ambassador. The ambassador that is, yeah, pulling the strings. Let's think of Triss.
Your fate is in your hands, sorceress.
My fate? You haven't asked a single question about me.
Yet it is all up to you. Your situation is a comfortable one. Do not squander your chance. So, wish to tell me anything?
Yeah, it is him.
I'm a sorceress, an advisor to the King of Temeria. Ah!
I believe we agreed you would speak only of things I do not know about.
I hope you learned something useful.
I'm just sorry I can't use the artifact a few more times.
Its power has been depleted.
I understand. Thanks anyway.
Okay. So use the artifact. Okay, as Cynthia told it, yet the artifact stood there, begging them to look closer. Okay, another illusion melted away to reveal a marvelous machine, clearly more of the sorcerer's handiwork. The expedition had reached its goal, and it was time for the Witcher and the Nilfgaardians to settle up. Yet the artifact stood there, begging them to look closer, beckoning them to touch it. As Cynthia told it, Dennerman's artifact would tap into the emotional bond between its user and another individual to establish a magic connection, even over a great distance. Intrigued, Geralt was eager to use it, if only to resolve one of the mysteries that still plagued him. Cynthia did not protest. Aldebert, on the other hand, categorically forbade the Witcher from approaching the contraption. This was the last straw. The tension that had been building between the mage and the Witcher exploded in a single act of anger. Adalbert hurled an especially nasty curse at Geralt, and a fight ensued. Yet Geralt was not alone. Cynthia had had enough of his behavior, and she and the mage had been unable to agree on how to divide the loot. The fight could very well rid her of a whole set of problems, so she simply took the Witcher's side. All Adalbert's objections died with him. Cynthia let the Witcher use the artifact just once, which pleased Geralt anyway. The information he gleaned from this bit of magic proved most valuable. His work done, it was time for Geralt to go. The Witcher and the sorceress parted on peaceful, one could almost say friendly terms. Cynthia disappeared through a portal, Demerton's artifact in tow, while our hero went back to his own matters, urgent in and of themselves. Okay. So I still have to do the gargoyle contract. So this probably updated now. Oh. Quest completed. So did the Triss Marigold one update? Doesn't appear that it did.
Diana's notes from a trip he took to Zerrikania.
Okay, so these are the notes that we need to find. I regret having learned of this dark episode in the city's history. I have become wary of danger, as the elves must surely be aware that someone has discovered their secret. I have made my last stroll into the ruins of the Black Academy. I will seal my laboratory and disappear. The time has finally come to see Zerrikania once more. So this was his last one. Got another one.
Diana describes finding an important document about the Vrans.
I have happened on an intriguing document. Its content is encrypted, and the dialect itself is strange. Deciphering it is consuming a lot of time. I have recognized the word reptiles, which is a promising thread. The document bears the seal of one Gobath the First. Oh, Gobath. I have never heard of this individual. Okay. Elemental trophy. So there's got to be more pieces here somewhere. Oop. Aha,
Diana mentions some bacteria strains.
So this is the third one. So I'm missing one then. I have finally reached the place described by Gobath. My worst suspicions have been confirmed, as I have found cells filled with the bones of lizardmen. There are more documents too. If the figures can be trusted, the mutated virus was terrifyingly effective. The reptilian tissue must have decomposed instantly. So something turned them into reptiles? Oops, there is one missing. There is one over here. So I'm missing the fourth one. Alright, let's step back.
They're Anna's notes from a
Here it
mutation
is.
procedure manual.
It was out here in the middle of the floor. I have started to record the mutation procedures once more, this time in a magically protected tomb. I now also realize how serious and far-reaching my discovery might prove. If this disease attacked both the Varns and those Isidian who were not vaccinated, what will happen? If someone mad or vile enough can be found among humans. Vile enough? Quest completed. A tomb truly rare. Geralt found multiple excerpts from the Sorcerer's Journal in the cellars of Loch Muir. In one, the sorcerer mentioned a grimoire he had penned. Given this author's genius, this scholarly tomb will likely be very valuable. Keeping an eye out for it was a smart idea without question. Well, Cynthia thought so too. The sorceress also proved craftier than our hero and outmaneuvered him. The sorcerer's masterpiece landed in Nilfgaardian hands. Okay. The journal excerpts Geralt found indicated that the sorcerer was not interested in Loch Muir's past per se, but in the Varn race that had built the city and in the mystery of their extinction. The Witcher quickly realized that the Nilfgaardians were interested in the same, and not because they had a passion for history. Whatever had killed the Varns could very well be useful to the Emperor as a weapon. Believing Imri capable of genocide, the Witcher grew wary. Okay. Talk to Cynthia. Alright, so we got everything here. Now we have to find our way back. Uh-oh. We could return to the surface, but there's more, I think, here to do. Not in the laboratory, but down in the sewers, right? Well, we can always come back, though. Let's return to the surface. Because I know where we're at, and I know where this is at now, so I can go down there anytime. So I need to talk to Cynthia. And she said she was going to be in the inn. And the inn is over here. I do have stuff to sell, though. I can sell to you. All right. Is this better than mine? What already? Oh my God, it is. Okay. Let's look at that. That is a hell of a silver sword. Because my silver sword is 30 to 35. This one, how did that come? The axe didn't. Okay. This one is 43 to 45, has 25% bleeding. Damage opponent, damage dealt to nymphophages, damage dealt to insectoids. So this is specific for certain things. But look at the damage on it, 43 to 45. It weighs a little bit more. But this one gives me resistance to incineration, damage reduction on block, incineration plus 10. And some of this is due to the runes I put on it though too, right? And that silver sword I currently have only has it in rough for 2 runes. So let's do that and then do some enhancements on it. Sun rune, damage plus 5%. Earth rune. Yeah, this is it. It gives me vitality. Okay, so that. Armor. That doesn't give me much armor. Oh, that's enhancement. I'm sorry, wrong thing. Sun rune. I want the fire rune too. Ooh, what is this rune? Bleeding. Adds 7% damage, plus it adds bleeding. On top of a sword that already causes bleeding. That's pretty good. And then... the sun. I thought I had a fire rune. Here it is, fire rune. Because this gives incineration. Okay, this is where we get our... Alright. Oh. Oh, okay, the gauntlets. Did I get some gauntlets? Oh, this is why my load went up, because of the gauntlets I'm carrying. Okay. So we know... We're not going to keep that. Do we have anything better? So this is armor 1. This is armor 1. No, that's better. I just want to make sure. Okay, before I start selling. So we got the axe. Yeah, you're going. Ranged. I just don't use these. I suppose I should. Oh, it has 50% chance of freeze? Maybe I should try it. Did we end up with any junk? No, we did not. We don't have any books. Okay. My weight is still 190, so that's great. So... I just have to use it. Which is an R. Okay, so let's go to the inn, which is... Going the right way? No. So I got an amazing new silver dagger. Okay, so Cynthia's in here somewhere. Here she is.
We need to talk.
Of course.
Oh.
You had me fooled back in Vergen. That sweet face of yours. Never suspected it could belong to someone who fanatically believes in conquering the North.
Mock me if you must. But I truly believe one huge empire is humanity's only hope.
No,
Many
it's not.
nations under one crown, with shared laws, advanced science, burgeoning industry and trade, and no wars, of course.
Sounds great. Let me know when it works out. I'd gladly spend my old age in a land like that.
It'll never work out. That's what the globalists are trying to do with our world, is get everybody all under one government, and it's not working because it brings everybody down at the same level, and you have no prosperity. All you have is an upper class and a lower class, and that's it. The middle class is totally gone.
These ruins must hold many secrets.
I'm certain of that. It was a beautiful city, a city full of talent and hope. But that ill ended with the coming of the Nordling armies.
Think the city would have survived if those armies had been Imperial?
Your king started the war with the Enshe. Nilfgaard's relations with the elves have always been peaceful.
They really did a job on your brain.
Yeah, they did.
That was an interesting adventure, Cynthia.
Yes, people bond over experiences like that.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder what happened back in Vergen. Did you get your promotion?
Not yet, but His Imperial Majesty rewards dedication.
Can he discern the truth from lies?
What do you mean?
I take it the Emperor has no idea his sorceress helped a mutant kill a Nilfgaardian mage.
It was a dangerous expedition. Casualties were inevitable. He'll content himself with that.
Got time to talk? Or are you off on another dangerous mission?
Even we Nilfgaardian agents rest sometimes.
Used the artifact yet?
I'm working on improving it. I think it'll be useful one day.
I found some of Derhenna's notes. He studied the history of the Vrans, right?
Among other things.
He makes several mentions of an epidemic.
Loch Muin conceals many more secrets than we imagined. I doubt we'll ever know all of them.
Well, if Derhenna's to be trusted, the epidemic had something to do with the Enshe. Maybe the Vrans caught the disease from the elves.
I'm no expert on diseases, Witcher. Who knows? Perhaps Derhenna was right, and the decline of Vrani civilization was much darker and more sudden than we thought.
You knew what we'd find in that laboratory.
Come again?
You wanted the bacteria strains that killed the Vrans, or more precisely, Derhenna's notes from his research into them.
This is very dangerous knowledge.
I suspect that's exactly why the Emperor is so interested.
The North is in chaos. An epidemic is the last thing you need. And one could break out if Derhenna's book fell into the wrong hands.
Fortunately, it's now in the right hands. In Emir's civilized and manicured hands.
Precisely.
Yeah, I think she is lying. I don't trust her at all.
I'm finding it hard to believe anything you say.
Did you come here to insult me?
No. Sorry.
What exactly do you want?
I was curious. I wanted to see which Cynthia I'd meet this time. The spy, the sorceress, or maybe the woman.
Which were you hoping to meet?
The real one.
Let's assume you're speaking to her. How do you like her?
Let's say I like her quite a bit.
Compliments are clearly not your forte.
I just told you why I've come. Care to tell me why you invited me?
Let's say I was interested to see which Geralt would show up.
And
Spread those hips. You're a dog. You're a dog. You're worried about Triss, and you keep hounding everybody. Yeah, but maybe she'll tell us something, right? We know she's into S&M, right? Oh, it's the same old. Oh, this one's a little different.
the minstrels got it right. Women of the South are both passionate and clever.
I like to improvise.
Yeah, I noticed. Farewell, Cynthia.
Verfail.